Welcome to today's episode where I'm going to be talking about tax compliance. I want to read to you an article where Zimra was saying they are confident that they will be able to meet their revenue target for 2025. It says here, Zimra confident of meeting the 7.2 billion revenue target for 2025 through innovation, automation, and compliance enhancement. Terms FMDS, FDMS, ZEWS, and drone technology are transforming tax and customs operations. So, from this article, you see, Zimra is so confident that they will meet their target of $7.2 billion for 2025. And looking at the main ways that they say they are going to meet their target, I want you to take particular note of things when it says compliance enhancement, which means people, businesses, or individuals that are doing business, or companies that are doing business, and they are not complying fully with the tax laws. You are actually giving Zimra an opportunity to exceed their targets. They have got 7.2 billion, but if you fail to comply, if you fail to adhere to the tax regulations governed by the Income Tax Act, then you are giving Zimra the reason to what? To exceed their target of 7.2 billion. For example, it should be in July, they opened a window to motorists that imported their cars into the country through unregistered means, or they smuggled, or they did not pay the correct duty, they undervalued their vehicles, and they gave people an opportunity to what? To come and declare and pay the right taxes without being penalized. So I hope everyone, we had done so, we had imported a vehicle into the country undervalued, or used other means that are not the correct channels where you need to bring in your vehicle into the country, you manage to take advantage of this grace period to regularize. Because if you fail to do so, which means one day they will catch up with you. Instead, the way you're supposed to say probably pay $1,000, you might end up paying double, because penalty is 100%. So if you're supposed to pay 1,000 and the penalty is 100%, it means you're now supposed to pay $2,000, and this is before interest. So take note. And then again, for businesses that are operating, they are selling taxable, vatable goods rather. You are supposed to register for value-added tax. By that we mean that when you register for value-added tax, which means you will be empowered by the taxman to collect VAT on behalf of the Zimbabwe Revenue Authority and remit the tax to them. So which means with your threshold is reached 25,000 in the past 12 months, which means you are supposed to register. If you fail to register, and then once you can either be caught through an audit, or through you decide to comply a voluntary disclosure, but that voluntary disclosure does not change the EDR, which means the effective date of registration for VAT. Suppose you decide to voluntarily disclosure in this month of August, but your threshold, your 25,000 threshold for the past 12 months, you reach that in say May or June or April, which means your EDR date for effective date of registration for VAT will become like 1 May, 1 June, or 1 April. It depends when you reach. So it means you'll be liable to pay VAT for those months where you started to be eligible to charge VAT. And again, it's painful to pay VAT for on goods or services that you did not charge any VAT. So why would you want to do that? So the right thing is to correctly monitor your sales on a daily basis, on a monthly basis. Check, okay, if you say this is August, say, which means you are looking at your sales from last year September up to August this year, and then say these 12 months, then check whether your sales, if you add those sales, are they reaching 25,000, or they have already exceeded 25,000. Then it means you should immediately what? Register for VAT. And once you do that, you disclose, and you register on time, then there won't be any need for Zimra to charge you penalties because you are in compliance. So the reason why I'm making this video is just to make a call to everyone in business, whether you're an individual, a small business, or a corporate. Let's comply. Let's avoid to pay unnecessary penalties and interest in instances where we can actually pay what is due to the taxman. Because I don't think the taxmen, they will love to charge these penalties. They love to charge this because it becomes a burden to business. It's an extra cost, because a penalty that you get charged for non-compliance, you cannot claim it as an expense on your income tax return. It's not an allowable deduction, because it is like if they were to allow you to claim, it means they're actually giving you more businesses a license or permission to not to comply. So it's a disallowable expense. You never claim it anyway. So it goes, and then it affects your bottom line. And every time we know that the cash is the life, is the blood that moves the business forward. Again, I want us to take note of the income tax as regards to pay as you earn. Also, we have got our employees that we employ. We should also withhold pay as you earn and then remit to Zimra. And some people don't know that every benefit that is paid to an employee who is not a civil servant, it is taxable. So we should take note of that. You might be giving your employees transport money, giving them cash for doing any as an incentive, but those amounts are taxable. So it means you should, as a business owner, you should actually be able to check with your payroll administrator to see if they are doing things correctly. Because once Zimra comes to audit you, for example, for pay as you earn, and then you have found that, okay, you under deducted a pay as you earn from Mr. X, Mrs. Y, from John, from Thomas, from whoever, it won't be duty of Thomas to make good for the amount of money that you failed to withhold. So that will be an expense to the company, a liability to the company, where you'll be penalized for failing to properly deduct. But if you can actually self-correct it. When you look at your payroll, you do an audit, get a tax person who can help you, and a consultant, then will help you to just do an audit of your payroll and see whether your payroll administrator is doing the right thing. I know some people might say, okay, we have got a payroll software, everything is done. But remember, a software can only process something that has been put in by somebody. So your payroll administrator might make a mistake in capturing the information into the system. So it's like, as you know, that the computer is garbage in, garbage out. So it doesn't process, it doesn't change what to input. It only processes information that you capture into the system. So basically, I'm encouraging you, let's comply. Let's comply. Let's not give Zimra the reason to exceed their target. Already 7.2 billion. It's a lot of money, but yes, we need the money. The government needs the money to finance their various activities, social services. We need that. But again, let them collect it using the rightful means. Like said, okay, we are paying for what you were supposed to be paid. What is due? Not that, okay, you failed to Zimra missed their target through penalizing people that fail to comply. Let them meet their target through taxes that people have actually paid. They've declared, they've not under declared their money, their incomes. They've just declared correctly, and then they meet their target. And then your business is left with enough money to continue running. Because the taxmen, they'll collect, they've got the right of claim to any. Suppose you say, okay, I'm closing shop. among the creditors that must get their money first, Zimra has got a priority over all other creditors. So they will get their money. Even a dead man is also taxed. I think so for people that have gone through the process of processing a deceased estate tax, they know that even a person that is late, their estate is valued and they pay the requisite tax. So if you have any questions, please don't hesitate to get in contact with me. We'll be able to help you to navigate the tax system, understand how it works, and then you are able to pay the right taxes. Thank you. See you in the next video.